Around 40 minutes ago, I was in Unwise's server. Um, he, some time ago, I don't know, days or hours, I don't know, he sent a clip of a Korean female streamer streaming character creation in Black Desert Online. She made a character using the game's engine and had the camera showing the character's face. She put her webcam over it, or face cam over it, and she looked exactly similar as the character. She looked exactly the same as the character. I I first said that I find it odd. By I find it odd, I meant that they fit so well. And that she took the time to make a character just like herself, because these character creator tools are usually very complex, and you have all sorts of sliders and details you can adjust, and he replied with, the word for it is amazing, or something along those lines, followed by an emote. I replied, what, do you have a thing for Koreans? He replied, bruh, with like 6 H's, and I was genuinely curious, and I still am, because I don't know how you, but where I come from, do you have a thing for is just a general question to find out if that's someone's preference or not. Well, after I asked, do you have a thing for Koreans, he removed the role from me, and since I don't have a phone number attached to my account, to my Discord account, I couldn't send messages in his server anymore. I did forget that direct messages are a thing, but then on the flip side, even if I remember that direct messages are a thing, I would still send it in general chat. Because why not keep it public? Why keep it private? What's the point? I want to be open with people who watch what I make, as few as they are, as few as you are, if you're watching this. So I then went over to this server since I couldn't post anything in his anymore, and I asked, why are you triggered? I just asked, and I tagged him because this video is to be a step-by-step what I thought. Why did I do what I did? Now, disclaimer, I did not have and still don't have any elaborate plan. I don't think I'm a sociopath, and my 2 questions, the initial, if he has something for Koreans, and the second, what does he think my intent was, why did he, ban me and leave this server, remain unanswered, even though I asked him several times in a polite manner. What does he think my intent was, and if he does have a thing for Koreans? So anyway, I thought I triggered him somehow, because why would he remove a role and consider it done, like consider it solved, as he wrote later? So I jumped to a conclusion there. I jumped to conclusions first, it wasn't him, but that doesn't matter anymore, I guess. So let's get on. He replied, I don't know if you're playing dumb with me or not. I'm not, I just want to know. The age-old, I just asked a question excuse is well explored by now. I don't know what he means by that. I just asked a question, I just want an answer. Is it that difficult to understand? Some people say they have a thing for X or Y, so I asked if he has a thing for X, for Koreans. And then he replied with, then from there on it started unraveling into this, from his side, at least that's how I perceive it, stream of information where he told me that I have some elaborate plans, I'm a sociopath, and anyway, back to the point. You know your intention behind your question. My intention was just to ask, to find out more about him. I wrote, what the fuck is wrong with that? If you know it, then tell me. Know it, by it I meant what was my intention. It's like, if he knows my intention, then why doesn't he tell me? He says, I don't know, why are you arguing right now? I'm arguing because I just had a question, and because I had a role taken away from me, I can't send messages, and I want to know why. What did I do? I had a role removed from me just because I asked the question if he likes something. And then I followed up with, if he thinks that that is sinister, because that's what my intention was, then I don't know what kind of friends he has. Like, if his friends use questions to attack him, then I'm sorry for what kind of friends you have. But where I come from, questions are used on a daily basis, and they don't have any negative connotation. They're not used to attack somebody most of the time. So he then follows with, you can't send messages, just no pink color for you. Well, still, something was removed, I was downgraded, quote unquote downgraded, and I wanted to know why. And then went on with, whoa, personal attacks now too. Seems like I'm not the only one triggered here. I still have only one question and I want to know answers. I said, what personal attacks? If you see a question as something that's hiding ill intent, he followed with, I don't know what kind of friends you got. What? He wouldn't answer. What does he think my intent is or was? I just wanted to know. Like, if he gets offended because somebody wants to know more about him, he should have had a rule about that in his server. Then I followed with, it's gonna be... I sometimes was stuck replying to something while he went onwards and reverse. So as if getting triggered over somebody asking a question, taking a role away and telling me that I know what I meant with that, implying that I didn't have just a question, but I wanted who knows what. He continues with, is it just in your genes to play dumb, or are you just that used to it? No, it's not. And I'm not playing anything. I just want an answer. Do you have a thing for Koreans? And again, I don't know what's so wrong with that. Everybody has a thing for something. Some people have a thing for this, some people have a thing for that. Not everybody's comfortable with sharing what they have a thing for. But if you're not comfortable sharing what you have a thing for, maybe you could have written, I don't want to tell. You didn't have to take away a role and start... I tagged him. I wanted to know. But I wanted to be civil. Anyway. I then called that he doesn't think that I just asked. He thought it was some sort of attack. He said, I'm not really triggered. I just uphold my rules. So, hiding behind your rules, I guess not your Discord rules, but your rules in your head where somebody asking something is offensive. It's like, how am I to know those rules? You never told them. And when I try to find out more, you perceive that as offensive. Well, I'm never gonna find these rules out. So what rules? What the fuck? You have a rule. We're asking if somebody likes something is offensive and warrants punishment. Well, pardon me for not knowing that rule. I started having enough of his attitude. It's like, I'm civil. Why don't you offer me the same kind of respect back? He then replied with, holy crap, you're just way too mad to talk right now. I'm not. I am the one who keeps on talking. He keeps on smashing me down onto the ground with... Anyway. I'm genuinely asking. I guess that's why we'll never get along. I genuinely ask. It gets misunderstood. And you can polish drama. He replies with, you're the one starting drama here. I was willing to let this calm down so we can talk about it later. But you come crying here publicly like you need some sort of, approval from others? No, like I want to be open with everyone who's in this Discord, who wants to know, so that they don't have to go around asking, why is there not going to be anything like this ever again? Anything like this being, like, co-ops with you, or whatever. You know, well, I have very few viewers, so it's probably not going to happen, but I still want to keep it open. So I say, oh... He says, your pathological lying explains why so many people you come in contact with dislike you. What lying? I forgot DMs are a thing. Wait, lying? What the fuck? Calm down. Calm down after I... Okay, so here I was referring to... He said, I was willing to let this calm down so we can talk about it later. And I ask, calm down after I get punished. Why not talk about it when it's happening? It's like, if I get punished, I want to know what for. And he still wouldn't answer. Why does he perceive a question, if he has a thing for Koreans, offensive? And I think he's delusional here. So anyway, he says you're masking everything as if you're a victim in everything. I asked, no ill intent. So yes, I think I am a victim. And in these scenarios, which happen way too often, even more than 0, I don't have any ill intent. But whatever. I ask a question, I get banned. I ask a question here, I get demoted. See a pattern. Well, yeah, somebody doesn't like what I ask, but they won't tell me why don't they like it, or warn me, or explain, or just take it what I give it for. I give a question, he takes it as an attack. What am I supposed to do there? How do I change that if he doesn't want to talk it out, if he just wants to retaliate? Anyway, I continue on with, yeah, where somebody punishes me for something and I have a hard time figuring out why. That's the pattern I see. Tell me what do you think was the intent behind me asking if you have a thing for Koreans. He says sometimes it's not your intent that matters, but the intent it seems you're projecting. And I think that's fucked up. He says that's normal. I think it's fucked up because if this world was supposed to exist based on what one thinks the other is projecting, or doing instead of what he actually is doing, then there would be no friendships, no whatever. Wouldn't friends just say whatever and get over it on both ends? I wanted to say whatever, but why did he take away the role? Why wouldn't he not answer? I just wanted an answer. So anyway, what's my supposed intent? And he keeps on returning to this. If I can stop playing dumb so that this conversation can continue normally. How am I the dumb one? How? I fail to see that. I just have questions. I want answers. If you can't give me answers, can you stop playing dumb? Can you just take what I offer? Questions, and can you give me answers? Or I'm not playing anything, I'm asking. If you don't see that, then I guess it's over. He wrote, can you stop playing dumb for 1 second so that this conversation can continue normally? Or does it just have to end here? What has to end here? A friendship? Last time that the friendship ended, he left the service, so I guess he's gonna leave the service. So I ask him one last time. At least tell me what do you think my intent was before you go? I don't know what else, so I guess go. And he writes, oh, so I'm supposed to leave. It's like, how really sick in the head are you to perceive a question as an attack, continued questions about the original one as continued attacks, and then, when I try to predict what you're probably going to do, you tell me, oh, so you want me to leave, you want me to do this, you want me to do that. I'm not the one who's sick in the head. By this, I think you are. You think that questions are attacks and I want to be hostile. Did you forget that I accepted your apology? That I let go of what happened? That originally when we played the human and undead co-op campaigns, you were the one pointing fingers, and then you ended up doing the same things you pointed fingers for? Did I tell you that? No, I let go of it. I let it be. Where are we at now? You attack me after I ask a question. I don't know if you got out of the bed on the wrong foot, but I'm not gonna be a punching bag. If you ever return, I won't accept another apology. 'Cause I was willing to be friends. I just asked. What's so wrong about that? Anyway, he then goes on to just gonna say that your ego and whatever you've got in that sociopathic brain of yours won't do you any favors in the future. This isn't meant as an insult like your words usually are, but as advice. Go seek professional help and best of luck to you. How am I sociopathic? What ego are you talking about when I accepted an apology. I let go of it. For the sake of being friends, for the sake of doing stuff together, finding out more and doing things together and I don't know, just being friends in general. And he tells me I'm egotistical and sociopathic. I think he's projecting what he himself is onto me. I have no other I don't know what else could he be doing. If you don't want to seek professional help, then I suggest you educate yourself on passive aggression for starters. How is asking if he has a thing for Koreans passively aggressive? I'll give you a hint where you can see yourself being just that. It's in your CNC series, except the American one. How am I passively aggressive in my Command and Conquer videos? Again, this conversation. Twist and turn to your desires. How am I twisting and turning to my desires if I play co-op with someone and I gift them the game? Is that egotistical? I offer, I say, you want to play with me? Sure, here, have the game. I didn't say, oh, you're gonna play the game with me or the friendship ends. That would have been egotistical and sociopathic. I try to be friendly. Always asking for one's preferences passively aggressive. It isn't, never said it was. You're just jumping to conclusions next to masking stories. What? Yes. Masking what stories? I'm jumping to conclusions? How about you jumping to conclusions this entire time? I jumped to conclusion the first time. I thought I triggered you somehow. Why else would you remove a role? But from there on, you were the one jumping to conclusions over and over and over and over. Anyways, that's all the time I can spare for you. I tell him he jumps to conclusions. He said LMAO. I ask one thing, you thought I had some elaborate plan. He says literally no you. From there on, it just devolved into... Whatever, I'll finish it. I keep trying to get out of you, what do you think I wanted then? If it wasn't what I wanted. And you keep alluding to me being some sort of sociopath with elaborate plans and making myself a victim. I'll tell you what, this time I am a victim and I don't want to be. I just want an answer, an honest answer. And he says, and here I was thinking this guy could use a friend. And he leaves and bans me. Like, if you are someone who has knowledge about human psychology, what's the problem here? What just happened? I wanted to know two things, and it ended up with me getting banned, him leaving, and telling me I'm a sociopath. In other words, doing what he did previously, pointing fingers, while doing the things he's pointing fingers for. I'm shaking and I feel sick from my stomach, because I thought we'd be friends this time around. I have no words. I don't know. Being friendly, buying games that I want to play with people, accepting apologies and asking questions is sociopathic. Apparently, according to this guy who banned me and left the server because I asked. And he wouldn't answer. You know what? As I said, I think he's sociopathic. He wants, I don't know what, something. And just because, I don't know, maybe I'll make a refined video on the matter with a structure instead of this initial reaction, but I just wanted an answer. Why is it so hard to use your keyboard, which you use to type all of these sentences, and just give me an answer without banning me or removing the role in the first place? I just wanted an answer. And he wouldn't answer what he thought I was doing. I was asking. He was, I don't know, I guess, as I said, he thought I was attacking him or something, being passively aggressive. I don't know how. Again, I don't know why asking for somebody's preferences makes me a sociopath, egotistical sociopath that's passively aggressive. I really don't know.